Okay, in this part of the video, this is our third part, I'm going to show you how to write a quadratic equation in factored form. So when you are given the two roots of your quadratic equation, you're going to want to use factored form. Remember that our formula says minus, so P and Q, okay, are the roots, which is the opposite of your x-intercepts. So we're going to plug in -2 for P, which makes it x minus -2. And then we're going to plug in 4 for Q. So it'll be x minus 4. Then we're going to use the other given point to plug in for x and f of x. And then we'll be able to find the a value. So when you are given the two roots, you're going to use factored form. You're going to be able to plug in your P and your Q, and then you'll be able to find the A. So first of all, I'm going to plug in, I'm going to say minus -2, which becomes plus 2, and then x minus 4. Now we're going to take this point to plug in for x and 10 for f of x. And now we're going to simplify the right side. So this is 3 plus 2 is 5, times 3 minus 4 is -1, and times a. So 5 times -1 is -5 times a. And now we're just going to solve for a. So we have to divide both sides by the -5, and my a value is -2. So when I rewrite my equation, f of x equals my a value of -2, x minus -2, which is x plus 2, and then x minus 4. So pretty easy. So on factored form, the only value you're having to find is the a, where on standard form, you have to find the a by finding the second difference and dividing by 2, and then you're also having to find the b because you will always be given the y-intercept for standard. Let's do one more. Okay, again, we're going to use factored form because I know my zeros. We're going to use 1, 30 to plug in for our x and f of x. So let's first just start out plugging in our p and our q. So it's x minus -1, which is x plus 1, and then x minus the positive 6. Now let's plug in 30 for our f of x. Let's plug in 1 for x. Everywhere you see an x, you're going to plug in 1. Now let's simplify. This is a times 1 plus 1 is 2 times 1 minus 6, -5. So that gives me -10 times a. And again, we're going to solve by dividing each side by -10. And my a value is -3. So now let's put it all together. F of x equals -3 times x plus 1 times x minus 6. The last video will be on how to write a quadratic function in Vertex form.